All right, this is gonna be another stock pick that I have, and it's called Gorilla Technology Group, and this is more of a long-term stock pick. I think that obviously you should buy now. I would buy now if I were you. I already have bought a little while ago, actually, and but this is a more long term. Obviously, I have no idea over the next next month or so what it's going to do, but I think in the long term, this is going to be a great pick. And I would advise to buy as soon as you can because it is at a good price right now. So it's called Gorilla Technology Group. It's located out of the UK, um, but they have a big presence in North America, and they're mostly based on AI software and AI infrastructure and city building. I think they do, and they are partnered with. Um, in Taiwan, I know they're partnered in. They're all across the world, really. And this is really a new company. This is not something that's been. The company's been. They just really went public. If you look at the actual full-time stock. They really only started in 2021 being listed, so very new company. And some of the reasons that I originally uh, was drawn to the stock, so they were published in 2021, and this was not their actual price. I think they were actually more around $10 when they published, but they had to do a reverse split because they were kind of steady for these first few years because they just got on, not much traction at all, and whatever they jumped like this, and then they went really down because they were in more of a reconstructive phase, and that's obviously I would avoid buying then, which is they're not in that phase right now, but for a little while they actually do a reverse 10-to-1 split because their stock was getting so low, and they were actually I think about to be delisted, but they had a huge rebound, and this is exactly why I would invest now. So if you look over, I think I invested. If you look at 1 year, they were back up. They shot up to 10. I invested right about here, so around the 550 mark. Um, I saw this stock. They were it's very low market cap, so 286 million. That's very low. They had, in terms of, they had very pretty solid earnings, especially a rebound from their earnings. And when I invested in them, but a couple months after I invested, they did a buyback program. And this was to help them strengthen their market position. And the stock pretty much dropped and it stayed down all summer. It slowly rose up. And if you look at this, we're in October now. You're at the $4 mark here. And we go back here. So this is in October. Again, it's slowly rising up, but uh, they really shot up, and this is growth all the way to 25. So this is 5 to 25. Those very good returns, and that is insane growth. And this is less. I have less logic behind. I mean, I guess it's more of just a feeling, and um, obviously their financials are doing well compared to they're pretty undervalued. I don't know. They have about 20 PE, I guess. And if you look at their performance here, it's all green, and this is good. They are very bullish right now, um, and their earnings I know are up. If you look at this EPS, sales. This is all up. This is all what you want to see here. The green, and they don't have many. They don't have a lot of sales. It's barely. They don't have many employees either, but they're growing, and that's the thing that you have to. I found this stock, and I'm pretty confident they're a growing stock company. And again, it's these as a long term investor. Again, this is not a short term investment that you're going to be making. But as a long-term investor, I want to try to find these types of companies who are just up and coming. You find before there are really there's nobody looking into this stock. And again, you saw a little bit of investor accumulation here, which shows that there's a good base here from 5 to 25. That shows confidence. And then of course it had a little correction, but it didn't just crash back down to 5. And this is why I'm still bullish on the stock, is that it's continuously creeping up back onto these 25 levels, and it's very bullish right here. It's at 1550 right now, around that. And it just had a huge jump, and this is a very bullish structure. There's not many people who are who are following the stock. Not many analysts are following the stock. And this is, in my opinion, a stock that is under the radar right now. Again, $286 million market cap is a great opportunity to make some money because even if it 10x, which is very, very possible, it's still only a $1 billion company. That is not that much. That's really nothing. There's so many billion-dollar AI companies nowadays that is really nothing to be too shocked about. And if you see this on your estimate, this changes, but it's 2250. That's a very solid estimate. I would probably, its P is only 5.5. That is very, very low. And they are growing. It's a growing stock. There's not much news about them, but in terms of look at this, their margins are pretty good, 28%. They have pretty good revenue. They're making money. They obviously have a little bit of debt, I think, because of they're trying to restructure, but I think it's a very solid, and again, they get buy ratings on average. And I would not take this lightly. The fact that their earnings are slowly growing, and it's exponential growth here that we're talking about, and these are earnings in the very low millions. So, this, in my opinion, it could be a stock that it's like it absolutely explodes. I could easily see this as a $1 billion company. This again is a very, very new stock. It's less, obviously it's up to you if you want it, but I think in the long term, this will end up paying off. I've already made a pretty good percentage gain on this stock just from having some trust in it from 5, and now it's at 15. And I'm going to continue to hold this until, I am in no rush. I think that this is just the beginning. I personally believe that with the way the chart is, and I've continued to believe this, that I think that they're going to continue to, if you look at this, again, I think they're going to continue to climb back to these 100 levels. And I think this is an odd way to go about this with the stock split. I think they will restock split once they're at 100, and they will get their IPO price back down to $10. So, and then I think they will continue to grow there and create a more normal looking structure, because right now they're down big time all time, but that's because they had to do that reverse split because they're just a very new company once again in terms of on the market. They had to kind of restructure the way they're going to be doing things. But I think this stock in the next few years, it could easily climb back to 100, and I think it could go beyond that. This is, again, a great opportunity. It is, I guess, a little more high risk, but as a long-term investor, you just have to kind of trust the company and the idea that AI is huge right now. And this is an AI company that is getting not much attraction. Again, you saw a little bit of attraction here, but still if you look at there's no really investor, there's no analysts are really doing anything on this. Those are the stocks that, in my opinion, are great. You catch it before everyone else does. And I think right now they're kind of working on their craft. And I think that it could definitely be huge. So, I'm just putting this video out there. I'm hoping that it really works out, because I do have, I would just buy, if I were you, that's what I've done, just buy 100 shares. Honestly, that's not a crazy amount of money. And if the stock really does explode, I think it will over the next 10 years. This is expected to be this AI infrastructure idea this is ahead of its time. I think it'll be huge. If you just put 100 shares in, it'll really you have the opportunity to make some huge, huge cash. If it really does go explode, and if it really does, not do that well, then whatever. I mean, honestly, it's worth a shot. You have to take some risk, and, you can't always just rely on the big names. I mean, if you want to, you can, but the opportunities really lie in the future, and this could be the future. So, just put some money into it if you want to. I personally see it going, continuing to rise here a little bit, and then it'll just continue to exponentially rise. And, you see this shows that investors are not that worried. Obviously, this is a huge correction. What is it? It's 5x in the span of a month. That is crazy growth. So that is way too much growth, honestly. 5x in a month. So, a little bit of this is a correction. This is not a crash, in my opinion. It's a correction to where I think it really is valued right now is at around $10. And we're at least at that time, and it's continuing to rise. This is a more healthy rise here, not this rise where you see it go from 14 to 25 in 2 days. That's just not That's not natural. So honestly, it's undervalued right now. There's not much attention to it, so I might be the only one who's looking at it. But it really just stood out to me as a great opportunity to, as a long-term investor, to really, I do have more safe bets too in the bigger companies. So I don't like to invest in too many small caps. But this is a great opportunity, in my opinion. The market cap's still under 300 mil. That's insane, insanely low, honestly. But obviously, those stocks pose risks to drop to zero or close to that because there just is not much attention. They don't really have a name for themselves yet. But there's also a great opportunity for it to rise to a $10 billion stock, which is honestly not that crazy in the grand scheme of things. That is not that high of a valuation for a stock, and you'll make 100x on that stock. That is crazy, crazy growth, and I think this chart right now just shows there's a great opportunity to buy. So, let me know what you guys think, and thanks for watching.